Hi, everybody. It's time for a few minutes with the mayor, Mayor Neville Hall, that is, from the City of Eden, and we're excited to be here with you. And boy, do we have a lot to talk to you about tonight. But Neville had to scoot out of an event this morning. He started with us, and then he went, dang, I've got to go to another meeting.
I did.
But it's the Piedmont Land Conservancy, and Chance, this is where I need the photos. The Piedmont Land Conservancy just acquired for public hunting and fishing access 1,068 acres, and they turned it over to the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission to create the Dan River Game Land. Now that's going to be really awesome right here in our county, and especially right there at Eden.
Right there at Eden. It's along the river. It's just another enhancement to the quality of life that the people in this area will be able to use this land forever now that it's been turned over to the wildlife group, and it should be a fun place for people to go and use for many years.
Well, I was excited by the fact that they said they would do things like they're hoping to put an access ramp on the river. There'll be other things out there so that it becomes a family destination, not just a place for hunters.
Right. I think that's the whole purpose of selecting this parcel was its amount of large amount of river frontage. And
I think 4 miles?
Yeah, they're going to try to tap into that, and that, of course, that plays right into Eden's river access that we're working to try to improve. So we're glad to have them in our county. So yes, it's a great day for our area.
A great day for our area. Well, Neville and I were just talking about what a busy week it has been. So we can take our photos down now. And this all led into this. I mean, we have both, I think, been...
Seen a lot of Debbie this week.
A lot of Debbie this week, but we've been rolling crazy this week. Crossing paths, there's just been a lot going on. So Neville, let's start off with what on earth has been so busy this week?
Just this past week or so, inside the City of Eden, we've had the Fine Arts Festival show, the awards and the awards ceremony and the reception that was hosted by the City of Eden at the City Hall. Great event. We had an incredible amount of talented artists, as you know. They presented the awards, and the art exhibit will remain open. It's at the Eden Room at Eden City Hall. I highly recommend you go by and you'll be amazed at the local talent that's right here in Rockingham.
Isn't it amazing?
I'll have to say it's worth the ride. So
it is.
How long is it going to be?
It closes down Saturday, the 21st at 1 p.m.
Okay, so you got another day.
You got a day and a half.
Go by there and check it out. Then Saturday morning, we hosted over 700 runners for the Go Far event right there out of Grogan Park, right at City Hall. And at the same time, there was a huge softball tournament being played at Freedom Park. So people are spread everywhere and
busy.
And covering a lot of events, and that's what we want. We want to have a lot of things going on and for people to come out and enjoy it. And so we just have been very busy.
Yes.
Which leads right up to our next topic.
Well, yeah, it was City Council week too. Yeah. Not only were all these other events going on, but it was the City Council meeting. So that's the next thing. You guys had a long one too that night, I understand.
We had quite a bit of information to cover on our agenda, which that's a good thing. A lot of the things that we talk about in council meetings, sometimes it's boring for people, but a lot of times it is very interesting, and people are excited about some of the things. And one of the first items we handled this month at the meeting was I read a resolution supporting the work of the Junior Achievement Program, and we called the volunteers and supporters and sponsors up, and we read the names, and there was a second page of names, and that's why I'm making a public apology. I'm begging for your forgiveness. We left our very own Debbie Moore off of the list for being recognized, and we are truly sorry. We were glad you're there, but you were there because you worked for the Junior Achievement. You didn't come there because you wanted a certificate.
No, I was there. Honestly, Neville, I don't work for Junior Achievement for any accolades. Right. I do it because I absolutely believe Junior Achievement works for our kids.
Absolutely. It's
a
great program.
It is a great program.
Why we support it, and we are very appreciative of the volunteers and sponsors, and I just wanted to make it public that we owe you an apology.
And I was at Draper Elementary, and let me tell you, those were some of the sweetest kids.
Right. Yeah, all the kids really enjoyed the program. And the second thing we did that's been very popular is we approved a new animal control ordinance. We shared this on Facebook, and it's had tons of people sharing and liking, and it's just something that the animal rights groups, organizations have been asking us to reconsider our existing ordinance, and we did. And Captain John Edwards at the police department and Charlene Thompson, they worked together and got a better ordinance. And I think that
Well, how is it going to work now?
with the
ordinance. I mean,
yeah, we approved it at this meeting. It's a more strict tethering, which was the main issue they were having concerns with. And again, like I said at the council meeting, this is a great ordinance, but we're going to need citizens' help to enforce it. If you see somebody's animal being mistreated, call the police department. We have now an ordinance to back up for more severe penalties. So we want to try to, be fair to the animals and give them a chance. So
absolutely.
I just think that people were excited that we took that on. We had some people come in February and ask us to consider doing it, and this meeting we've since then we've worked it, and now we've approved the ordinance and can put it into place, we hope.
That's great.
And then another exciting thing, we voted to rezone the property that is at the spray cotton mill, that building that the developer has an intention of redeveloping. He's got plans for 86 apartments, a restaurant, some artist space, and a microbrewery. So we approved his request for rezoning, so hopefully he'll move right along.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun thing.
So we need to get his.
That's right up my alley.
Yes, that's right. And then.
And then, the city manager did something really, said something really good this week that we're all excited about.
Our city manager, he worked very hard to present to the council a balanced budget, a proposed budget that we had the work session at the council meeting this month, and we'll have the public hearing on May 15th and approve the balanced budget as he's proposed it.
But here's the good part coming up. I really like this.
Telling Debbie before, this budget was balanced with no raise in the tax rate on property, which ours is still the lowest municipality in the county, no increase in water rates, sewer rates, or solid waste rates, which that's always a hard thing to balance. And then we had no increase in the motor vehicle license tax, which that money is collected to offset the cost. The money we lost from the state funding of maintaining our roads over the years, we had to find another source of revenue, and that's the best place to do it. The cars are the things using the road.
Sure.
And it's fair because everybody who has a car pays the tax, and that's the way we did that. And then, we're just excited that we were able to continue to fund the strategic plan for another year and the Positively Eden. So that's all in this budget without those increases, and I just think that all the department heads, and especially Brad, who's worked very hard to make this budget, they're spending the money wisely, and we're just excited to have this.
And I want to reiterate, no increase in any of these things he just mentioned. No increase.
That's right. And like I said, they work hard to try to do as much as they can with as little as they have to. And hopefully the budget will be passed and we'll have another good year.
Well, and some of the things that helps balance budgets are grants.
Exactly right. And that was another thing. It was part of Brad's PowerPoint presentation that in the last 5 years, the City of Eden has received over $28 million in grants.
Wow.
$28 million. And a whole lot of that, most of that, is directly related to two people. Terry Shelton, he's the Director of Public Utilities, and Mike Doherty is the Director of Economic Development. They apply for it, they work, and they go after these grants constantly. And $28 million in 5 years, that's a whole lot to our little town.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, especially a town that's lost the industry, and that's a lot of dollars.
Yes, it's been good.
That's a whole lot of dollars. Well, let's talk about our downtowns, because we have several little downtowns.
We do, and we got a lot of stuff happening in our little downtown.
Yes, you do.
And we have a potential restaurant that's going to, the guy who bought the property on Washington Street is a restaurateur, and he hopefully is going to open a restaurant. We got a coffee shop interested in coming downtown who's had a successful business in other locations, so we'd love to have them downtown. And I think our economic development, the infomercial that WGSR filmed for us is starting to run, and it's just so informative, and it's getting a lot of positive response. And I think that those kind of things with our Did You Knows and everything y'all are doing for us with the publicity, it's starting to trickle back into people are getting excited and hopefully doing things.
Well, and they're seeing the things that Eden has to offer that a lot of folks probably did not know that Eden had to offer.
That's right. I mean, that's what, did you know?
Did you know? Exactly. And did you know that a dog park is coming?
A dog park is coming. That's something I get emails about frequently. And again, while we're here, if you have a question or comment or suggestion, please email it to me.
Right.
Neville Hall at edennc.us. and I will address it either during the month or when we get on the air. But one thing I do get asked about is the dog park. As we had wet weather, it was delayed with construction. It is going to be open to the public next week.
That's
And
incredible.
there will be a ribbon cutting on May the 12th. And along those same lines, we talked earlier about the Matrimony Creek Trail that's been under construction with the weather delays. That is scheduled to open on June the 20th. So our guys and the construction people have really been putting in the work since the weather cleared up to try to get these things finished.
Yeah, I mean, the weather has, I mean, I know they're putting in the pads, or the RV pads too.
Yep.
And that is another thing that's kind of been held up due to weather.
That's right. And it's getting into tournament season. We talked before. And
Yeah.
I think those RV pads are going to be very successful.
I think they're going to be full.
I do too. I mean, like last week, you couldn't find a parking place at Freedom Park during the softball tournament.
Right.
And that's a big parking lot.
That's a big parking lot, and it's a big park. It's a beautiful park. And not last and not least, but events coming up. And there's quite a few of them coming.
We do have events, and but that's part of why I come on here, is because I want to stress that these events are available, and we want everyone to attend as many as they can or would like to. And I try to come on here and give them to you chronologically. And the one that's coming up this weekend on the 21st of April, it's the first ever. The food truck rodeo is going to be on the boulevard in Eden.
Yeah.
On April 21st at 11 o'clock, 11 to 6. They're going to have at least 7 food trucks. Other vendors will be there, and they got live music and a bouncy house for the kids. And it's free admission, but please come down. And as I came in tonight, Mark handed me a note from the organizers of this, that in addition to this, during this event, they're going to be taking up cash and check donations, non-perishable foods, and hygiene products. This is all going to be donated to the relief mission for the tornado victims.
For the tornado victims.
Just because, I mean, it's just going to be another great reason to come out, bring some supplies, bring what you can stand to give to help the people that got hit by the tornado. Because
I'm not sure that folks here realize how hard that 29 quarter, Reedsville, Ruffin, and up through there were hit. And recently, we were just updated from an EF1 to an EF2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
So yeah, that's just piggybacking onto this event. So if you can come, please consider bringing something to donate, because these people are in a lot of need. So that event. Hopefully, with the weather, is going to be perfect. They're calling for perfect weather, and it's the first one we've tried. So we'd love to have it, be a big success.
And it's on the boulevard, an area of Eden that has not had an event before.
Right.
So this will be their new event.
This is going to be the first attempt at a pretty large event, and we're just excited that the people have stepped up and are trying to organize it, and we hope that the people will support it and go out and get you lunch or early dinner or whatever.
Well, I'm going to be there because I'm going to meet the Mexi-Arepa dude.
Oh, boy.
He's out of Durham. And they do Venezuelan and Tex-Mex type food. So
nice.
I got to go try that.
Sounds good. Yeah. And then the next event I had to mention is on May the 3rd. It's the National Day of Prayer.
Yep.
We'll meet at the flagpole at City Hall at noon. Just last a few minutes. And like I said night before last at the council meeting, we had this event last year, and the next morning the tornado came through Eden.
Yes.
And we had no injuries or death, no serious injuries or death. And
prayer works.
well, we hope, and that's what we hope. We don't have to test our luck again this time.
Yeah,
but
we hope.
At noon on May 3rd at City Hall, feel free to come
At the
out,
flagpole.
just stand around the flagpole. It'll be a fairly short little service with prayers for different groups, and I recommend you come if you're available. Then the next day, on May the 4th, UNC TV is filming at the Eden Drive-In. They're filming for a special weekend getaway segment thing they're doing. And they're traveling around, and they've selected the Eden Drive-In as one of their destinations. And they're going to be there on May the 4th for the nighttime drive-in event. So please come out there and let's show
up the parking lot.
Show them that we do. And usually the parking lot's full. I mean, that is a good thing. So, May the 4th, come out for that. Then the next day, I told you we got something
every day.
Well, the next day is May the 5th, and there's the Eden Youth Council. This group works so hard for our city as young kids that come in and they want to be involved, and they work with the city council, and they're hosting a kickball tournament at Freedom Park at noon on May the 5th. And We'd love for you to contact the Parks and Rec Department if you want to put a team in there and come and play. It's just their little fundraiser, and I think it's $5 to enter a team. So
Right.
they'll have pizza and stuff. So that's on May the 5th. Then the last event that I'm going to talk about is, because it's before our next segment, is May the 12th, Oink and Ale.
That's going to be so much fun.
That's going to be good. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. It's going to be on Monroe Street in Eden from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock on May the 12th. Chicago Rewired.
Yep.
Is the
If
band.
you're a Chicago fan, I understand. This band
the one.
This is the one. Mm-hmm.
So we have that, and the admission this year is free for the admission. And just again, this event has continued to grow, and we hope it will continue to grow. So that was my rundown of events upcoming. And I do need to mention there is another event that falls just after our next
Right.
taping, and that's the Pottery Festival. And I mention that because that takes some planning for anyone who wants to be a part of that. They need
Exactly.
to go ahead and get registered. That's on June the 2nd. But if you're interested in doing that, you need to go ahead and get in contact with Cindy Adams about just signing up for that. So that covers the events.
Events. So Chase, can you put up our cell phone graphic, please? All right.
And then
Text Eden at 5160. So,
51660.
and tell them why they should do that.
If you text Eden NC to 51660 and opt in for the text messages, you'll get all these things sent to you. You'll know
about 'em.
You'll know about the events and other things that of importance. If we have an Amber Alert or
Code Red.
that you can send you a text. And I've signed up for it, and I haven't gone in and customized it, but you have that ability. But you can select how often you want to be, and you can always opt out. You won't get anything unless you want to be involved. But if you want to know about what's going on in Eden, that's just another way, because we are trying to hit every media, every outlet we can to let everybody know and be as transparent, and here's what we're doing and here's how we're doing it. So that's just one more way to get the word out.
One more way. All right, you can take the graphic down now. And folks, we've run out of time. Again. And we flew through it. We were, when we first decided to do this show, we were going, I wonder if we can do 15 minutes. Well, it's looking like we need longer.
Yeah, we might buy some
We
more
might have to
time.
buy some more time here. But anyway, thank you, Mayor Hall.
Thank you, Debbie.
And thank you for watching and being with us today. I'm Debbie Moore for Star News.